got the right fight song. It's improvement. Reminds me a little bit of Disney. Just got back from Disney with the family. And I was going to say that fight song reminded me of Disney because they play it. If you didn't know that Walt Disney was born in Marceline, Missouri. But really, y'all remind me a little bit of Disney World. Tired, ready to go home, tired of coaches whining up here. So, good morning to everyone. You know, I was very excited about the opportunity to come to SEC Media Days, which marks the end of vacation season, which is one of the two main reasons that I coach college football, free gear and vacations. And now it's on to football season. And based on what I've heard from the rest of the SEC coaches, it looks to be a really, really exciting upcoming football season and an incredibly tough competition throughout. I was sent a text message the other day by one of my good friends that said, what a privilege it is to be exhausted by a challenge you choose for yourself. And that's something I think about a lot when we talk about college football and college athletics. We choose to do this. I'm blessed to be the head football coach and incredibly proud of the opportunity to serve the great state of Missouri as the head football coach of the University of Missouri. To represent the 6 million people who live in our state, it's an incredible privilege and opportunity. Very appreciative of the support of our board of curators led by chairman of the board, Todd Graves. We got an incredible leader and president and chancellor and Dr. Moon Choi. Our athletic director, Larry Veach, empowers us to be the best football program that we can be, and it's just an honor and a privilege for our family to call Missouri home, and we're blessed to be here. I'm really proud of the football team we will field this fall. You know, we've got 38 new scholarship players. 21 of them came from the transfer portal, 17 from high school. And so, you know, we've built a roster to compete this season. We valued production over potential, and we have 20 players on the defensive side of the ball who have started more than one game in their college career. We've got 12 players on offense who have multiple starts in their collegiate career, and then we've got 3 on special teams. Our 3 representatives today have 85 combined starts among them, and that's Connor Tollison, Dalen Carnell, and Zion Young. Those guys, Commissioner Sankey mentioned it, you know, those 3 young men are juniors and seniors, 41 of them, 41 of our players and 15 staff members. We went on a service trip to the mountains of Jamaica in May. We are blessed to be a blessing, and that's something that as a program we want to live by. We want to use the platform and the opportunities that we have to impact and empower communities. We wanted to go and serve, and that's exactly what we did. We spent 4 days building a home, building a bathroom, repairing 3 roofs, adding a room to the medical center there. We built a home for a single mother with 3 kids, and it was an awesome opportunity to spread hope throughout the community of Harmons. You know, they didn't care that we were football players. There was one night where we got to spend, we divided up into groups of 3 and 4, and we went and had meals in people's homes to get to know the community. And they had no idea. Really, when we talked about football, they thought we were talking about soccer. They didn't care about Americana football. What they cared is that we cared about being an impact to their community. And it was something that was really eye-opening. They just appreciated enough that we would show up. We wanted to have an impact on them, but in truth, they had more of an impact on us. And I don't know, maybe it was the lack of air conditioning. Maybe it was the 1 2-minute cold shower that you could have. Maybe it was trying to put 41 guys in bunk beds. Maybe it was the fact that water is very scarce in Harmons and that most people don't actually have running water in that community. But it changed us, and it made us different, and it made us realize that we're very thankful for the opportunities that we have. I'm very thankful to be at the head football coach at the University of Missouri. I'm very thankful for the ability to do this, and I know our players are too. So with that, I know there's a lot of burning questions in this room by the 14 of y'all that showed up. But just as a reminder, I'm not going to answer any questions about the Epstein files, whether about the radiation belt, and whether or not it was possible for Lee Harvey Oswald to get 3 shots off in 7 seconds. I don't have time to answer all those questions. But I will answer questions about Mizzou football. And I would be remiss if I didn't say Bob Holt was a graduate of the Missouri School of Journalism, and we miss him today, and we think about him often. And so with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Coach, we'll try to find some questions on some other topics over here. So Molly Ann, Holly, Olivia have microphones. Coach, we'll start right here in the center aisle.
Hey Coach, Emily Grace McWhorter from the Next Round. You shared with local media that you expect Sam Horn to remain with your team despite being drafted by the Dodgers this past Monday.
Yeah.
Can you share what y'all's conversations were this past week kind of leading up to this and what the game plan was for you guys?
Yeah. First off, congratulations to Sam, Jim, and Beth. What an awesome accomplishment, awesome opportunity for that young man to be that good of an athlete, to be able to play. I think he threw 15 innings this year and really had an outstanding season. We're so proud of him to be able to compete in 2 sports. But Sam has been adamant this whole time that his goal is to compete to try to win the job in the SEC and play quarterback at the highest level. I've had conversation with his representatives in whether that was last year as he was going through his Tommy John's surgery or the rehab process going through spring, and that really hasn't changed. We had discussed it. Sam had relayed the message. His agent had relayed the message to all the baseball organizations that he was going to play football this fall, and so nothing's changed. I called him the day of the draft to make sure he was having a draft party. I called him after he got drafted, and I told him, you know, the day he got drafted, was proud of him, and I'd see him at 6:30 at workouts in the morning.
Which will go in the section straight in front of me in the 3rd row.
Morning, Coach. Nick Eliza from KCOU in Columbia. You just mentioned it a couple minutes ago, 21 transfers you brought in. How do you create a culture and a chemistry with such roster turnover, especially among the upperclassmen?
Yeah, I think that was part of the reason we decided to take the mission trip to Harmon's. Nothing creates cohesion and builds trust and respect like shared adversity and putting people in adverse situations and see how they'll respond. There's really nothing more adverse than putting 300-pound offensive linemen, defensive linemen in the SEC in bunk beds with no air conditioning. And so, you know, I think that was one of the ways. Obviously, our strength coach, Ryan Russell, our Elite Edge program on the first floor is a conduit of our culture and continually teaches and preaches that. And then, you know, you've got guys like Connor Tollison and Dalen Carnell who've been here their entire careers. They know what it looks like. They know what the standards are and what to uphold them to. And I think our staff combined with our strength staff and then, again, shared adversity helps create cohesion.
Coach, we're going to go right down here on our front right.
Coach, J.D. Zaza, WVUA 23. This year, Missouri gets to renew a rivalry with Kansas. You get them at home this year. How excited are you as Missouri and the fans of Missouri to renew that rivalry with Kansas?
Yeah, I think rivalries are a great thing for college athletics and college football particularly, especially regional rivalries. This one goes back a long ways. The origins of our football name, the Tigers, is based off the militia that was formed to protect Columbia from people from Kansas and the Kansas area. So, you know, this is something that goes back a long way, and it's very deep, and it's something that our team is very keenly aware of. We understand the implications, the importance to our state, and look forward to playing that game, especially having it at home.
First, we'll go down the center aisle. Drew.
Coach, Drew DeArmond, WCCN Radio, Huntsville, Alabama. I wanted to talk about one of your transfer portal additions, and you talked about production. Early in his career, especially at Arkansas, is one of the best, I think, safeties in the country. Talk about adding Jalen Catalon. What does he bring to Corey Batoon's defense, and what kind of impact could he make for you as an experienced player?
Yeah, you know, Jalen Catalon's a guy that played against us in 2020 during COVID year. He didn't play in the first half because of a targeting penalty. And man, he came on and was an elite player, and has been an elite player for a long time. You know, Coach Saban, all summer, he calls and does scouting reports with all the head coaches, not to get back into coaching. Just want to clear that up for Greg McElroy. But he does that to make sure he has an edge on the competition. And the first person he asked about was Jalen Catalon, because he said, man, that guy's played a lot of really good football at a high level. And you could see that in the spring, the instinctual. He's got great instincts. He understands, diagnoses what offenses are trying to do. He's got a knack for finding the football in the air. He's really good at blitzing. You know, we play a lot of single high defense and use that safety to insert, which is something that Jalen can really do. And we're very excited about what he brings to that room. You know, we lost a lot of career starts with Joseph Charleston, and so we needed somebody in that back end. Communication is so vital in that position, and so very, very proud and excited about JC and what he's going to bring to our football team. He's been awesome. Got a chance really there were several days I got to work specifically with him in Harmons, and man, that guy is a workhorse. Just set the tone all day. You know, one of the days we had to make concrete, and the toughest job is you're in the house. We'll put all the cement in there. We have to you have to bucket water up there and throw it, and he's in there just stirring it. And most of the time people do that for 30 minutes and they have to tap out. He did it for 6 straight hours, and he's incredibly tough, and very proud of him.
Coach, we'll go over here to our left, second row. Tom.
Hey, Coach. Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Thanks
Tom.
for the words about Bob.
Yeah.
You mentioned during your opening about coaches whining up here.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's about transfer portal, caps, or what, and if not,
No.
what was it about?
No, it's not. It wasn't here. It's just in general. I just go back to, like, again, what a privilege it is to be exhausted by a challenge you choose for yourself. We all choose to coach here. We all choose.
Those topics, though.
They are what they are. You know, since I've been in college football, we've had COVID, NIL, transfer portal, 8 or 9 game schedule. We've been debating that for 5 years. So, like, I mean, it is what it is.
Coach, we're going to go on this near aisle, Barry.
Yeah, Barry Trammell, Tulsa World. You know, the SEC, 15 years, won a bunch of national titles. Everybody in the league seemed to benefit from that. Now the Big Ten's won 2 in a row. How important is it for the SEC to get back to the top?
Define the top as in number of draft picks in the NFL, top is in most viewership, top is in, you know, overall top is the deepest conference in college football. Yeah, we haven't been. I heard that last night. Well, they haven't won the national championship in the last 2 years. I don't know, what was it, the previous 10, 14? You know, I mean, so look, the more teams you add to the tournament, there's greater variance to it. So, you know, I don't necessarily think that we're that far off. I don't think that there's any more pressure. You've got 16 of the toughest competitors in the world who are head coaches in this league. We're all driven to achieve the best, whether that's internally or externally. We feel pressure to achieve that. But there's no pressure because, oh, we got to do it for the SEC. We want to do it for our team, our players, our fans. So,
Coach, we'll go over here to the left section. We'll start right up here in the 4th row. Go ahead.
Coach, Ryan Shapiro, Texas Sport Network. Can you tell me a little bit about the quarterback battle going on this offseason between Prabula and Sam Horn?
Yeah, we got 3 quarterbacks, all a little bit different, all with some very good strengths. Obviously, Sam Horn's a guy who's been in our system for a long time, dual threat player, obviously plays baseball at a high level, is coming back from Tommy John surgery. I thought he had an outstanding bowl prep as he was rehabbing that, and really a really good spring, and has really excelled in his maturation. one thing most people don't know about Sam, he's a type 1 diabetic. And so he's been able to, since he's been in college, been able to learn to adapt and train and develop and adjust. And he's really done a lot of good things, understands the system. Bo came in with the right mindset, nothing given, everything earned, works extremely hard, developing his craft. He's a guy who spends a lot of extra time up there, has a chip on his shoulder, the right kind of chip, does a really good job leadership-wise. He was a guy that I got to work with a couple of days at Harmon's, and I'm just impressed with his ability to connect with our team.